We humans thrive on social contact. By nature, we need regular social interaction with other people as much as we need the air we breathe. Some of us need more of it, while others do just fine on our own for long stretches of time. But what's gone wrong in life when we suddenly find ourselves all alone, even though we don't want to be, when over the years, one friend or acquaintance after another has drifted away from our circle of friends? It doesn't always have to be a quarrel that drives people apart. People go their own ways. People also move away from each other because life situations or goals no longer coincide. Nevertheless, it can be helpful to take stock not only of others but also of oneself, because there are actually some reasons why we feel ourselves driven away from some people and why some people might be driven away from us. We'll introduce you to what those are in today's video. If you like our videos, support us with a thumbs up, subscribe, activate the little bell, and look forward to the videos we upload for you every day. Number 1. Demanding people. Regardless of whether someone is a drama queen or full-time helpless case, no one could ever expect anyone to constantly work on someone else's needs or problems without ever getting anything in return. Interpersonal relationships are not one-way streets. If you treat them that way, you'll soon find yourself in a dead end. It may be that life does center mainly on oneself. However, if you want other people to be in it as well, it's necessary to switch from the me mode to the we mode. Number 2. Negative people. If someone belongs to the species of energy vampires, doesn't have a good word to say about anyone or anything, and can only think about sunburn on a beautiful sunny day, don't be surprised that such a person repels people very efficiently. Everyone has a bad day, but if you abuse your fellow human beings every day by treating them only as mental garbage dumps, you should not be surprised about the consequences. Everyone has problems. Perfect lives exist only in movies. You are under no social obligation to involuntarily listen to the worries of others. So you should try to see the glass as half full, and then maybe your counterparts might want to share their time with you again. Number 3. Egocentric people. Some people think of themselves as the sun of their own solar system. However, sooner or later, they should not be surprised when the planets change their orbits. When did you last ask others about their condition or situation? When were you last asked? Do you let them finish when they talk about themselves, or do you always cut them off? How much do you really know about each other? Maybe you don't even notice this behavior because you are so busy with yourself and your own troubles. But adventures and problems are not automatically more exciting and important just because they are your own. If you always think only of yourself, you will eventually be left alone with yourself. Number 4. People who do not listen. If every encounter becomes a monologue, soon no one will want to hear it. Letting your fellow human beings finish talking and not always steering the conversation in your own direction is not only impolite, it also shows that you really don't want to listen. A cheerful, social gathering of guests will find the guests quickly leaving, especially since most of the stories are also likely to be repeated over and over again. After all, people who don't listen generally don't do so with anyone, including themselves. Number 5. Gossips, critics, and bullies. For a gossip, washing other people's dirty laundry in public really makes their day. But is it really true that no one else knows how to do anything? Such terrible behavior drives people away. You don't have to love everybody, but constantly bitching and moaning about other people isn't going to win you any friends. Even if one has a small following, such relationships based on negativity never last long, and constant verbal attacks directed relentlessly against others will cause collateral damage among one's own circle of friends. Those who have to constantly bully others in order to attempt to prop themselves up, even if it is only done verbally, will sooner or later find themselves alone. Number 6. Hypersensitive people, if someone feels offended every time he hears laughter behind his back, if someone is certain that he is always the subject of the conversations of others who are standing around talking, could it be that the person is too sensitive? Some people take everything personally. Even when it rains, it must have been the result of an intention to spoil their day. No one likes to have such emotional time bombs around. If someone measures every word against a twisted worldview or deliberately misunderstands every conversation, attempting to relate to such a person is skating on thin ice. In the long run, it will try your patience beyond toleration. Such a person simply exhausts anyone who comes into their neighborhood. Number 7, people who remain aloof. It doesn't always have to be negative character traits that make one's environment difficult. Cautious restraint in dealing with other people is certainly advisable. After all, you never know what information we might reveal about ourselves could be used against us sooner or later. But if you always keep your guard up and never let down your armor, at best, you will appear aloof and uninvolved. In the worst case, this behavior is misunderstood as arrogance. If you don't want to reveal anything about yourself, you can perfectly kill 2 birds with 1 stone. By asking questions, you appear interested, and when someone tells you what they did over the weekend, it makes them seem a little more approachable. By the way, you can break the ice quickly and easily by using a little self-deprecating humor. Such stories or jokes make you instantly likable, and being able to laugh at yourself is an advantage in any case, and not just when interacting with others. Today's conclusion: did you recognize some characteristics about other people and realize why you've distanced yourself? Or did you recognize yourself in some of these points? Congratulations! Self-knowledge is the first step to improvement. If people avoid you, it is not always because of everyone else. Maybe it wasn't always like that, and you let the contact slip. Since you cannot change others, you will have to start with yourself. What has changed in your life recently that could have changed you? A breakup, a job change, an illness? Certainly, life crises do affect us, that's for sure. And positive changes can also greatly affect us. New love, a new circle of friends, or professional success can also bring about a change in our lives. Whether for negative or positive reasons, stay true to yourself. Your longtime companions don't deserve to suddenly be confronted with a completely different version of yourself. Growing from crises and opportunities and emerging stronger from them is not a mistake. Becoming a person that no one wants to be around anymore, however, is. Find the mistake and you'll find the solution. That's it for today.
Thanks for watching. Did you find this information helpful? Do you have experience with it? We would love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and let us know your thoughts. For more resources about mental health, self-improvement, and psychology, visit our website. You'll find the link in the video description where you can also connect with us on social media and sign up for our email list. Take care of yourself and have a beautiful day.